Today we're trying out Shooter's World Clean Shot for the first time on the channel. That's coming up next year on Just to Be Outdoors Reloading. Welcome back everybody, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, hit that notification bell, leave a comment down below if you like videos like this. First off, I'd like to thank Republic Ammunition for supplying us with this jar of powder to try out. I was talking to the owner down there and I told him I was looking for a powder that was a little bit cheaper than what I normally use for all my rounds on the channel, and he said try this out. So I'd like to thank Heath at Republic Ammunition for supplying this to us. So what we're going to do today is we're going to load up a ladder test. We've got 3 different ladders here and I'm going to do 10 rounds apiece on each ladder to see if I'm going to like this or not. What we're going to do is we're going to load them up inside and then we're going to take them outside and chronograph it. So let's go ahead and get started. Now for the components we're going to be using today, of course we're using the Shooter's World Clean Shot. For primers we are going to be using Servicios primers. I also picked these up at Republic Ammunition. For bullets we are going to be using Xtreme Bullets 124 grain. These are a TMJ bullet. I'd like to thank Xtreme Bullets for sending some bullets out to the channel. They are supplying me with some bullets for some videos. Thanks a lot. There's a discount code down below to Xtreme Bullets for you guys to check out for that. And then for brass, we are using Starline brass here for the brass to keep this all even across the board. So let's go ahead and get started. We are going to be using the RCBS Rock Chucker here, lead dies. When I do get to a certain part doing the powder, just to make sure the powder's right, I will be turning my KMS squared light on. There's a discount code down below for them too. And just in case you guys want to know, also Inline fabrication flush mount. So let's get started. Now this is my first time doing this setup on the channel, so I'm not sure how I'm going to do it. We got 30 rounds here to load up. What I'm going to do is I'm going to size and deprime on this with a Lee factory die, and then I'm going to prime it on the downstroke. I'm not sure if I'm going to talk my way through all this or if I'm going to speed through it. This is my first video like this, so we'll see how it goes. When you see it, that's when I figured out if I was going to fly through it or not. So let's go ahead and get started here. I think what I'm going to do first, since this is the first time I'm actually priming on my new CBS Rock Chucker here, I'm just going to put the primer in. And then I have all my rounds over here facing up. So we're going to size, deprime if they had primers, then push forward to prime it. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to set this upside down in my tray to let me know I primed it already. So I'll have to find a little groove here because I am not used to this. So we got primer, and then we'll size, come down and prime it. This will be a lot of fun. This is one reason why I bought the RCBS Rock Chucker, is because I wanted to do stuff like ladder tests and everything on this. Normally I would do them on my Lee Classic turret press, and I would just turn that into a single stage by pulling the indexing rod out. But I wanted to try something like this for something a little bit better, more suited for stuff like this. And there I go, I already got a little bit off there. So we're sizing and priming. I think, like I said before, I don't think I'm going to let you guys suffer through all this. I'll probably just fast forward through it. So we'll start that now. Alright, now we're at the last one here, and the groove I found that works for me is to put the primer in, raise it up a little bit, slide this in, size it, and then prime it. And this is our last round right there. So we'll move on to the next step. Now on this step, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take one out, we're going to put it in, and we are going to expand it, and we're going to leave that up there. And I got a funnel up here, you can kind of see my leaf funnel. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my pan here. I got my Lyman Brassmith here dropping at 3.2 or 3.3. Looks like 3.3. I want 3.4, so I got my Lyman Brassmith powder trickler over here. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to trickle up the 3.4. And then I've been wanting to verify it. I got my RCBS scale over here, just to verify. We got that set up, and we are dead on. I'm doing this because I had an issue with my Frankfurt Arsenal electric scale, and I found out the batteries were getting low on it. So I just wanted to double check a few of these with the RCBS beam scale back here, just to make sure. And then what I'm going to do is come over here, and we will dump that in. After we dump it in, we'll take the round out, put it back in the tray, and then what I'm going to do is move my bullets over here to where I can grab them easier, and I'm going to set a bullet on that, and that's going to let me know that these things are ready to be seated. So I'll do a couple more with you guys. I'll just be quiet and let you guys see what's going on, and then I'll fast forward through it again. Went to 3.5. I need to get batteries for these things. My Wahoo is better for doing this, but the batteries are dying in that too. And the only batteries I could find was my boy's that he's used, and I don't know how old they are. That's why I'm checking it with the beam scale just to make sure. Alright, 3.4 grains. Move it over here, check it on the RCBS scale. And we are dead on again. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to finish all these out. I'm not even going to fast forward through this part because I got 30 rounds to do and this takes the most amount of time, so I'll be back when this is done. Alright, I'm coming back for the last round on the powder measure here. So once again we're going to go up and we are expanding it and leaving it there. Then we are grabbing our pan, throwing our charge, coming over here and double checking it to see what it is. Going to the Lyman Brassmith powder trickler, trickling up, and I'm almost there. This is the last round. I've been doing spot checks, but I want to put it on my RCBS scale here just to double check this last one again. I've been doing the first and last of every 10 rounds of the ladder I'm doing. That one's dead on. In case I didn't mention it earlier, I don't remember if I did or not, we're doing 3.4 grains, 3.8 grains, and 4.2 grains is what we're doing on that. But that ends out the powder part. Let's move on to seating the bullets. Now we're moving on to seating the bullets here. What I got, I had this already like pre-adjusted, but with these Lee dies, with these lock rings, these don't lock like the other ones with a set screw, so sometimes it's off, so I backed it off just a little bit. Now, all the load data I'm using is right from the website for Shooter's World, and what we are looking for is 1.100 on these. So I'll see where I'm at right now. I backed it off a little bit. I'm at 1.119. So we'll have to move it down here a little bit. And then once I get this adjusted, since we're using the same brass and everything, this should be very consistent on it. So this one we're just going to keep moving a little bit. See where we get at. Made a little bit of a bigger adjustment there. Try to get us there quicker. Now I'm at 1.106, so just little itty bitty increments now, because we're getting closer to our number. The only reason why I'm being picky on some of this, because if this works, this could be my new plinking round and powder for plinking and videos. That's why I'm being so picky on it, just in case you guys are wondering why I'm being real picky on a 9mm round like I am a rifle round. Going as crazy as I am with some of the numbers and hand trickling and all that. I just want to make sure, because I always use 124 grains, and I want to make sure this is going to be a good enough load. You can see right there we're at, if I can get the glare off of it, looks like 101. Depends where I look at. There we go. 0.100. That's one. Can I say it right? 1.100 right there, dead on. So we're going to leave it right there. And I will leave you guys on for this. We'll watch this part because this shouldn't go too awful slow here because we're just seating the bullets. Trying to be nice and consistent on it. Now I am not crimping. I'm just seating them. I like crimping separate. So that's what we're going to do when we're done with this. We will put the factory crimp die in and we will crimp these. Main thing here is to try to be consistent with your pull here. And it sounds like my dog's going to start barking. If he does, I'll break away and I'll come back. But that's the main thing, is to be consistent with all this. And we almost got our first 10 rounds of the first ladder done here. And like I said, the first ladder is 3.4 grains of the clean shot. And then we're moving on to the second ladder here. That ladder is 3.8 grains of clean shot. Make sure we got that going there. Just trying to be consistent in that all. I know when I'm making plinking rounds I'm not going to be this consistent. But this is the first time I'm using this press for a ladder test. One reason why I bought it. It was also the first time I got to use my Lyman Brassmith powder trickler since I did a review video on it. And of course that worked out the way I wanted it. It worked out beautiful. So I think I'm going to like this setup a little bit better for test rounds. Like I said, I use my Lee Classic turret press for most of mine that I do. But I wanted to be a little bit different and get something like this to do all these. Just to round out my little arsenal of presses here. And in case you guys don't know, what I got now is, of course, this RCBS Rock Chucker Supreme. I've got my Lee Classic turret press. I've got my Dillon 550C. I have a Lee app press. And I have a Lee Load All 2 for shotgun, which we got to get out here soon. I've been doing all these handgun rounds. We need to do something different, do some shotgun rounds. But now I'm already into the last ladder here. These are 4.2 grains of the clean shot here. There we go. Let's get it into the screen so you can see what it is. That's what we're using here. And like I said, I'm being picky because this might be my new go-to powder. Normally it's HP 38. I've used that for years, so it's hard to get me off of something. So hopefully we'll see what these chrono at. Now the next thing we're going to do is get the crimp die in. Now we got our Lee factory crimp die in and we're going to crimp these. Now the one thing I haven't mentioned in the video yet is what we are going to shoot these out of. And I think what I'm going to do is I just recently picked up a Canik TP9 Elite Combat, or Combat Elite, whichever way you want to say it, don't matter to me, it means the same thing. But I think what we're going to do is we are going to test these out in that for the chronograph testing. Sounds like fun to me. Always try out the new gun. Don't know if my doggie's laying behind me. I don't know if he thinks the sound of the press is knocking or what. He keeps going woof. He just did it again. I hear the other dogs out there. Might have a delivery. They like barking at any kind of delivery vehicle. Anybody else got dogs like that? I think most dogs are like that. Any kind of van or box truck that goes by that is delivery, my dogs go nuts. But yeah, I would like to really thank some of the support I've been getting from both my channels here lately. Republic Ammunition. I do go down there and buy stuff, but he has given me a couple of things to do videos on, like this powder, and he's given me Servicio primers and the White River primers, but most of them I've bought. So I really appreciate him helping out the channel. And once again, I'd like to thank Xtreme Bullets for supplying the bullets that we're using today. You can use that discount code in the bottom one time, and after that, if you want to, Republic Ammunition also carries Xtreme Bullets, so you can pick them up there too. Just got to give a shout out to a couple of the people who like helping out the channel, because without them, a lot of these videos wouldn't be going. And we are moving on to the last 3 of the crimping here. So what I'm going to do when I get to the last one, I am going to grab my barrel up here and we are going to do a plunk test just to double check. Actually, I put my scale in front of it, rearranging up here what stuff looks like on the top of the shelf here. So we got our barrel here. We're going to drop that down in. Drops right out. Drop it back in. Spin it all about. These rounds are perfect. Now let's go outside and test them out. Alright, now we're outside here with the Canik TP9 Elite Combat here, and we are going to test these out. We got 10 rounds a piece we're going to shoot here, so let's see if these will work. Hopefully the chronograph reads. Got 972. Got an air. Looks like we got a no read. I was worried about that with this being a cloudy day. 965. 957. 953. 966. 966. Duplicate. And it looks like the last one we got is 956. Not all of them red, but that's why I did 10 rounds. Let's check those numbers out. Alright, on that one we had a high of 972. Had a low of 953. Average of 962. Stream spread of 19. And a standard deviation of 6. That low charge ain't bad. Let's move on to the next ones. Now we got 3.8 grains here. That first round wasn't bad at all. Now let's try these out here. 1014. 990. 984. 1014. 1021. 1031. 997. Air. Got another air. And 1020. Let's check those numbers out. Alright, on those we got a high of 1031. Got a low of 984. Average of 1008. Stream spread of 47. And a standard deviation of 15. A little bit high, but still not too bad. Let's move on to the next one. Alright, this round is going to be 4.2 grains. Believe it or not, with the HP 38, that's how many grains I run in. So I'm going to be interested to see what these do. Totally different powder though. This is more comparable, they say, to CFE pistol is what they told me at Republic Ammunition. If you go on to Shooters World's website, it says it's comparable to HP 38 and Tight Group, but we'll see here and check these out. Let's do this last one. 4.2 grains. 1056. 1060. I figured that was going to fall off. I'll be right back. Sorry about that. I forgot to empty all the other brass out and it gets too heavy and it falls off. Let's try this again. Alright, that time we got an error. 1087. 1083. 1074. 1078. 1056. Air. And 1067. Let's go ahead and check those numbers out. Alright, we had a high of 1087. A low of 1056. Then we had the average of 1070. Stream spread of 31. And a standard deviation of 11. So what's my final thoughts here of my first time testing anything from Shooters World? Numbers look great on there. Like I said, unfortunately, because of my muscle disease, I can't put groups together that good. That's why I just do velocity tests. Like I said, I usually, with the HP 38, I usually run about 4.2 grains of that, and that number came up pretty good. Usually I run my 9mm a little bit hot because I don't know what guns I'm going to get in for reviews, whoever loans them to me, and I want to make sure they're going to work. And I think with this powder we're going to do some more testing. I'm going to load some more up, and we're going to get one of my comp guns out here that has a comp on it and see how they run compensated. We'll probably go with that 4.2 grains because, like I said, that's where I really like running, is hotter on that. All this load data that you found is on their website, but as always, warning, do it at your own risk. Do what I just did and do a ladder test and see if it works in your gun. So as always, don't forget to check the links out down below. Down there I have links to Axle Hearing Protection, Gators Eyewear, and a bunch of other companies I like dealing with. Some got discount codes to save you guys money. Others are affiliate accounts that do help out the channel. So don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Hit that notification bell. Leave a comment down below. We are one nation under God, and I'll see you all on the next one.